Hey guys, Mike here, Cryptonaissance, and I wanted to do a quick tutorial on cryptocurrency pairs. Over the last few days I've received a bunch of questions which sort of surprised me because we've been trading a system for several months now. It's now December of 2021. We introduced the system in late May of 2021. And yeah, for some reason this question started to come up over the last few days repeatedly, and I'm really surprised about that because we're only in Ethereum, and before we were holding a bunch of cryptocurrency, and this question rarely came up. It's possible because a few more people joined us over the last week or two, and so that might be related to that. Be this as it may, I want to answer this question once and for all, which is related to confusion about what crypto pair to hold. And in essence, the answer to that is that it's the wrong question. And I'll try to explain that by means of circling back to regular currencies, Forex, foreign exchange, which is what I've been trading for a long time in my life, at least 10 years, probably more. I started trading in 1999, and I don't know when exactly I got exposed to to actual Forex, foreign exchange, but I trade that excessively, and I even developed systems around it. So I had to start learning how to think in currencies. I don't know how I keep saying crypto, but you know what I'm talking about. I had to learn about currencies in general and how to think in them. And of course, as many of you know, I live in Europe and I pay in euros all the time, but I earn in dollars, and that basically causes me to constantly think about the conversion. So I think I'm probably one of the best people to explain that, because I have various exposures to that on an ongoing basis, and I'm a trader. So in order to understand how cryptocurrencies work, let's go back to how regular currencies work. And in this case, what I'm going to use is a very simple example of the Euro USD. And it's a regular pair, a regular currency pair that you will find when you check currencies online. And it's a euro. There's the GBP, which is the British pound, and there's the Australian dollar, the Aussie dollar, and there's the loonie, which is the Canadian dollar, and then of course the USD/JPY. So these are the top currencies, and the yen is pushing in, or renminbi as you would call it. So thinking in euros, so thinking in dollars, so thinking in British pounds. For some people, it seems to be a bit of a mind bender, and it's actually quite easy to explain once you understand a very, very basic concept, which I'm about to explain. So when you think about currency, so in general, right, you need to think about how to convert from one to the other. And in order to convert from one to the other, you have to basically start with one of them. And in Forex, as well as in crypto, we have the concept of base. Right? I'm going to try to write with my mouse here as best as I can, because I didn't bring my pen and my beautiful tablet. So bear with me. It looks like a 6-year-old drawing with crayons here. Okay, all right, that's the base. That's not bad. And then we have a quote. I have the quote currency. And that's universal. It doesn't matter if it's Forex or if it's crypto. It's the same thing. Okay, this is a very common concept, and this is how this works. And once I'm done drawing this, then we can talk about it. Okay, there you go. Quote. That's as best I can do with my mouse. So the first currency always is the base currency. So in this case, right here is the euro, right? So we have the euro, and that's the base currency, because that is the currency that's being referred to. That's basically the currency that's being expressed, and then we have the quote currency, and in this case that's the USD. Okay, that's the USD, Euro USD. Oh, sorry about that D. That's a D, I promise. Euro USD. And what does that mean? Well, what we're doing here, okay, with this here, right here, we're expressing euros in USD terms, okay? And what that means is that for each euro that we want to buy, we have to pay right now $1.12. And that means if I want to go and acquire a euro, a euro bill, then I have to pay $1.12 for it, because that's the current exchange rate. It's not fair. It shouldn't be this way, because I think the dollar is much better shaped than the euro, but that's a topic for another day. Now, we can of course do the inverse. The Euro USD is a common pair which you find in exchanges, which you find traded. That's actually what you find. You won't find the USD Euro, but mathematically, of course, it does exist. And Google helps us calculate that. Right? If you type in USD Euro, which is not a common pair, and I'll get to that in a second. USD Euro, we have 0.89, and if you do the math, right, if you divide 1 by 0.89, you get pretty much very close to 1.12, right, which is 112, which is the inverse one. So that's the way to convert from one to the other. And what we're doing in this case is, from European perspective, from the quote currency, right, if we want to buy $1, we have to pay 89 European cents for it. So it's cheaper, right? Meaning, of course, the euro is currently valued higher than the USD. And again, this is the base currency and this is the quote currency. We're quoting USD in euro terms. Make sense? Okay. So armed with that knowledge, let's go back to the account here, and I'm going to go to, first before we start trading here, let's go to the spot account, the trading account, and per Cryptonaissance, I'm currently holding Ethereum. And you see that it only says Ethereum here. It doesn't say Ethereum Bitcoin. It doesn't say Ethereum USDT. It doesn't say anything else. Why? Because, look, if I want to buy euros from you, and I'm an American, because I'm actually an American, but I'm also European, so I could buy it for myself. But if I'd say I go and I'm an American, and I travel from America to Europe, okay, and I have $1,000, and I want to exchange those $1,000 for euros. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give somebody dollars, right? But if I want to get 1,000 euros, well, I'm going to have to bring more dollars because the exchange rate is 1.12, right? Because again, we're expressing, if I look at euro USD, we're talking about the euro. That's the base currency. I want to acquire, in this case, I want to acquire euros, and if I want to acquire euros, I have to bring a certain amount of dollars, right? So that's at 1.12. For each euro I have to give you $1.12. So per the calculations, then $1,000. If I want to acquire 1,000 euros, I have to bring $1,120 to acquire that. Makes sense, correct, right? And so again, it's all about base and quote. And now if you go back here to the actual spot trading account, right? If I want to acquire Ethereum, not yours, and so right here we're in the account, and let's say we have Ethereum, right? Ethereum right here, and you can see when I type the base currency, it basically pre-fills all these quote currencies with it, all these crosses. So it's basically like a menu. So okay, you want Ethereum here? This is what we have on menu today. Okay, I should bring my wife. She's French. Pardon me. So let's say we go to Ethereum Bitcoin. What does that mean? Well, unless I have either Ethereum or Bitcoin, I have no business even looking at this. Well, I can look at it, but I can't do anything with it. Why? Because look, again, this here down here, the activity, this is an exchange. This is not, you're not going to be buying Ethereum Bitcoin. You're dealing in either Ethereum or Bitcoin. You're either selling or buying. And what that means is it's always relative to, I think I have an arrow tool here. Very nice. Okay, so all this here, right? This is always relative to the base currency. And the base currency is, of course, the first one. Right? Same here. And I'll explain this in a second. Why? Because look, it's Ethereum Bitcoin. And if I want to buy Ethereum, well, it's expressed in Bitcoin, right? Ethereum is expressed in Bitcoin. And to that end, if I want to buy Ethereum, I have to bring along Bitcoin. I have to have Bitcoin in my account. If I don't have Bitcoin in my account, well, then I cannot buy Ethereum with this cross. Similarly, if I have Ethereum, okay, or let's say I don't have Ethereum, well, it doesn't matter what I do. If I don't have Ethereum, then, well, I can't do anything here because I can sell Ethereum if I don't have Ethereum. But if I have Ethereum in my account, well, then I can sell it in order to acquire what? Well, this, of course, Bitcoin, right? In this case, okay, I sell Ethereum and I'm getting the quote currency in exchange for that. Make sense? So that's how that works. It's very simple, right? Same with USDT. So let's say I have only USDT. Well, then I would go for Ethereum USDT. If I want to buy Ethereum and I only have, okay, it's not filling it up. Oh, there you go. And then I would select this one, because if I have only USDT, if I only have Tether, right, which is an Ethereum token, by the way, but let's not go there. If I want to buy Ethereum with USDT, then this is the place to go. And similarly, if I want to acquire USDT, right, via the Ethereum, meaning if I have Ethereum, but I want to receive USDT in exchange for that, well, then I can, get the code here. It's always I always use limit order, and then I can type in, I don't know, a quarter of my Ethereum. I can sell it, right, and I'm going to receive USDT for it. Makes sense? But it's always this exchange here, this marketplace, right? It's a market. Like, this is one market. There's hundreds of markets here. In this market, I can either buy Ethereum, right, with USDT, or I can sell Ethereum. See, I can buy Ethereum with the USDT, or I can sell Ethereum to get USDT. Makes sense, right? It's very simple. Now, for a little bit of a mind bender, there was the other week a pair, and I really don't remember which one it was. It wasn't ENJ, it wasn't Mana. It was trying to forget which pair it was, but let's just use Mana as an example. KC, I think it was actually KC, this one here. Yep, let me actually type this up. KCS, I think it was that one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, no, it wasn't, obviously. Okay, in this case, let's pretend for a moment here, because once in a while this happens when you're on exchange. Let's pretend for a moment that there is only KCS USDT. There's no Ethereum, there's no Bitcoin. Okay, but you have only Ethereum, or you just came out of Cryptonaissance, you only have Ethereum, but for some reason on your exchange there is no KCS Ethereum, so you cannot do that directly. Well, you're gonna have to go do the triangle thing, right? You have to first acquire some USDT in order to then sell it for KCS. And then in this case, if you have only USDT, what you would do, right? You have Ethereum right now, okay? And so you would go to Ethereum and you would go Ethereum USDT, okay? And from there, you would get a quote, right? You take the current quote right here, and then you would take a certain amount. That's up to you how much you would trade. Let's say, 0.25% or something, right? And you would sell that. I'm not going to sell that now because I don't want to do that, but I would sell that Ethereum in order to receive. You sell the base currency to receive the quote currency in this case, and then you would get in return USDT, and then you can go back to KCS once you have that. KCS, okay, and again there would only just been listing here. That's all there would be, because the other ones are not there in our imaginary world, imaginary exchange. And then then you're good to go, because then you can go and you can select all of you can press this quote here, you can press 100%. Right, in this case, okay, I don't have USDT right now, but in our imaginary world, I just acquired it, and then you would sell that to buy KCS. Makes sense, right? You basically buy KCS with your USDT that you just acquired with your Tether. And if that's a mind bender for you, then I okay, I don't blame you, but then just watch the video again. I think it would make sense. The whole thing, the whole concept here really revolves around basically base versus quote currency. That's really the magic. Base versus quote currency. And once you start thinking that, then all the other things resolve by themselves, because you know what, you're never going to hold crosses. You know, that shows if you think about it this way, then you know you don't really understand how cryptocurrencies work, right? You're holding the actual currencies. It's like, look, if I deal with you in Euro USD, you're not getting Euro USD, you're getting, there is such a thing as Euro dollars, but that's a completely different concept, so forget about that. No, otherwise, no. If, let's say, you know, British pound USD, right, GBP USD, you're not holding that. You're either holding British pounds or you're holding dollars, one or the other, okay? In physical form in this case. Here with crypto, you're holding only the crypto form. You're holding only the tokens, right, the coins, and in your either in your, you know, with your hash, with your account basically, or on your exchange, and that's it. It's the same concept, same thing. It's just like in Forex land. Same thing here in crypto. I hope that makes sense. I hope that kind of explains the whole concept to you. And if not, then let me know and I'll try to make a better video, and then hopefully it'll be all clear. But I have a feeling this should have sorted it. If not, again, you know where I live, so email me and you know, I'll sort you out. Okay, that's it. And I speak to you next time. Cheers.